Hi guys, how's it going? Ivano here, and today we are looking at some gameplay of one of my viewers who contacted me on Discord the other day and told me, Ivano, I followed your guides, I learned my class, I got my gear, I'm doing everything I can, but I cannot get more than 10,000 DPS. I get maybe 8,000, 9,000 many times, but never more than 10. What am I doing wrong? So I asked him to record some of his gameplay and send it to me. And so today we're going to look at exactly what it is that he could be doing better. And in fact, there are, I would say, at least like 3 big mistakes that he makes. So let's see how many of those you can spot yourself. But without further ado, let's look at the gameplay. And the first thing I would like to say is that the way he plays Carnage, like from a rotation point of view and the movement, key binding, everything actually looks quite well. So I didn't give him any tips about, the use of his abilities. He's fighting this Arsenal mercenary here. Arsenal, of course, cannot really escape from you. The only thing they have is Rocket Out. If they have Rocket Out, then they don't have Reflect. And if you follow my guide, then you will have Mad Dash and 2 charges of Force Charge. You can follow and simply kill them. So from what I see here, it looks like he really follows the rotation. That all looks good. He kills the mercenary. Now he regens and looks at the pylon, where I can see looks like the enemy team is about to cap it. So we're going there. Let's see what happens here. Looks like our team is about to die. We're trying to stop the cap, but we get rooted again. Sad times. We lose the pylon and die. Okay, fast forward through the respawn. Door opens up again. Both teams have 1 pylon. This guy is carrying some orbs. We decide to fight in mid here. This is not the best fight in my opinion. Looks like a 1v4. 2v4 actually, our healer is here. We decide to chase the sorcerer. FaZe walks out, and now we're in a 1v2. We are line of sighting our healer, and this is the first mistake I told him. If we would have stayed with our healer here and not chased the sorcerer into the house, then our healer could heal us right now, right? So playing with your healer is the first thing, always being aware where your healer is. You could see he was getting hit by those 2 other guys out there, meaning we should have not chased the sorcerer in the situation, or at least now we should make the decision to run back out so that our healer can do his job and heal us. Let's see what he does instead. So we're fighting this Marauder, but we're in a 1v2, not a good fight. 1v3, and now our healer runs in here and starts healing us, which is of course great, but unfortunately we make our first big mistake. We decide to stealth out. But now comes the huge problem. And he told me this is because he mostly played shooter games before that. And of course in many shooter games, it's all about your KDA. So you want to avoid dying at all costs, right? So he runs away here. You can see he's still in combat. Seconds pass and he's still in combat. Now he's out of combat. And now he's regening his health again. And this is really the big mistake that he does, and which was keeping him from breaking 10k DPS. Because as a melee player and a Marauder, especially, you need to stay in the fight. You need to have good uptime. You always need to be hitting something. That's the way to do high DPS. So he runs back in here with full HP. This is in general not bad, but yeah, it looks like a bad fight again. Not quite sure. The enemies have like 6 people here. We have only 3. One of them dies. Both teams have both pylons, and now we're dueling the sniper here. But we're fighting in diversion. And now it's a 1v2, so we should really stealth out here. Use our stealth a little bit late. I actually would have used Mad Dash first and then the stealth, because now we're going to come out of stealth right next to the Juggernaut. And if he has eyes, yep, he just one-shots us, right? We're checking the minimap. That is good. We want to see where our team is. Now we're building stacks. I'm not a big fan of that move because we have our, I think it's called Frenzy. So we could also build 30 stacks immediately. And now there's the Gunslinger again. We are 1v1ing him. That in general is not a good thing. I mean, you don't really want to be dueling people. You want to select like an easy target to really get maximum DPS and get some easy kills. Now again, we're in a 1v2. I think he decides to stealth out here again, run to the tunnel. I personally would have used my stealth and run directly through them towards our team. Now he's running away, but he still has dots on him. So he's gonna stay in the fight. And this is again the big mistake that he keeps making, is just running away, trying to get out of combat and regenerating his health. So he runs across the whole map. Looks like he's almost in Narnia. And now finally he's regenerating his health. And this is the main thing that, you know, I told him he has to stop doing. Because actually what would have been better in that situation is, of course, I mean, running to your team, using your stealth if you have to. But the big thing is that, and I told him this, is that, you know, sometimes you just need to die in PvP. It's no good if you play for your KDA, if you try to get, you know, 0 deaths, because especially as a melee player and as a marauder who cannot heal yourself, it's sometimes just necessary to die, right? So yeah, here the Gunslinger fails another knockback. But in general, the Gunslinger is a bad target. Like if you're a Carnage Marauder, even if the Gunslinger is playing poorly, you don't really want to hit him. Here he makes a mistake in managing his defensive cooldowns. Not sure if you saw it. Let's quickly rewind here. So here, right, we're chasing the Gunslinger, but we cannot really chase the Gunslinger because they have 3 rolls for some reason. Knockbacks, roots, and diversions. So we cannot chase him. And here we turn around and we use our cloak because we saw, yeah, we were in a 1v2, 1v3. Our team is not really following up. So he has the right idea not to chase the Gunslinger any further. Also, the round was over. But the big mistake here is using our cloak, our force camouflage, so the stealth out instead of using one of the other cooldowns, right? So he could have just used Mad Dash this way back to his team. Instead, he uses what is arguably his biggest and strongest defensive cooldown, the stealth out, which means that we don't have it 10 seconds later when we need it. So let's play the clip one more time. Again, fighting the Gunslinger, not the best target. I told him, you know, a better target would have been the enemy healer, for example, this guy, the commando heal. But now we're here in the middle of 5 people being targeted by the sorcerer. We use Mad Dash, but now we don't have stealth. We get chased by the melees and we die. So if we would have saved our force camouflage, we could have definitely lived there, which also would mean more damage. This is a small thing. I mean, something you can easily correct. But I think the bigger thing here, and you will see this again in a second, is, you know, not being willing to die, not staying in the fight. So we're running back in here after the respawn, trying to look for our team. Probably would have been better to run to the pylon here, but it looks like he is looking at his healer, who is in mid. So I actually like this, playing with your healer. This time we're hitting the sorcerer, which is a better target, at least compared to the Gunslinger. Rotation looks fine, devastating blast, vicious throw, building our stacks. But it's a 1v3. Not sure our healer can actually heal us through this. Chasing the sorcerer. Well, he can die here. Let's see if he gets the kill. Nope, sorcerer gets away. And again, we decide to stealth out and run away. And now look how long it takes him until he will be doing damage again. So he runs away. I'm going to put a timer up there actually, so you can see this. He's still in combat. Still in combat, still in combat. And all this time he could be doing damage. Still in combat. Only now he's starting to regenerate. After, you know, 30, 40 seconds. And if he simply stayed in the fight, yeah, maybe he would have died. But the respawn is maybe 20 seconds. Yeah, worst case 30 seconds, you're back in the fight, right? Now, he spent 50 seconds until he's gonna hit someone again. Almost a minute of not doing any damage, right? So it would have been better for him simply to stay in the fight, do as much damage until you die, and then simply respawn, right? So this is the big lesson. Sometimes, and especially as a melee player, just stay in the fight, just keep hitting people, you know, as much as you can before you eventually die. This gunslinger is running away from 5 people. Nerf gunslingers, but he dies anyway. Love to see that. So let's see what it does here. He's targeting this mercenary. I like this. Mercenary are good targets. But now again, the stealth out and running away. Yeah, and this is the biggest reason why he's not doing more DPS in this match. We can look at this a couple more times, but yeah, again, he simply used his stealth prematurely, which means he doesn't have it when he needs it. Gets focused by the people there and dies. So we fast forward a little bit to the end of the match. And you can see that we actually lose this match by 12 points. Meaning if we had 12 points more, if we got 2 or 3 kills more, we could have won this match, right? But because he didn't fight with his team, which was the first mistake. Second mistake, he dueled the gunslinger for too long, should have maybe instead focused on the commando heal or the sorcerer more. But the third and biggest mistake, and that's why he only has 5k DPS, is because his uptime was very poor. And he ran away too much, trying to get 0 deaths instead of simply staying in the fight. And sometimes, and I guess that's the lesson here, more deaths means more DPS. But then, a couple of days after this match, he sent me this short video, which was the first time he hit more than 10k DPS on Carnage Marauder. Actually, almost got 12k DPS here in Odessen. So as you can see, this is an easy fix. And if you simply accept that sometimes dying in PvP is necessary, and you focus on playing with your healer and hitting the right targets, then there is no reason why you should be doing less than 10k DPS. I would like to do more videos like this one, so if you have some gameplay that you want me to review, and maybe we'll give you a couple of tips on how you can improve, let me know in the comments below, or hit me up on Discord. Link to that is also in the description below. That's it for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to leave it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.